Welcome to KIN 207 Personal Health. This is an awesome class because you're going to work on your health and earn college credit for it. This is a perfect opportunity to make some behavioral changes that you need to make in order to improve your health. Okay, let's go through the syllabus. Please print the syllabus if you haven't already done so and follow along. The first section of the syllabus is general information. Instructor, I'm Dr. Fish from the Kinesiology and Health Promotion Department. Contact information. Listed there is a variety of contact information depending on your issue. For issues about accessing the material, contact StressX, where the lectures and supplemental videos are housed. For problems accessing the final exam, contact Software Secure, the online proctoring company who will be proctoring your exam. For Blackboard problems, contact the help desk. For everything else, contact me. I don't hold office hours during the summer, but I check my email multiple times throughout the day, every day. Email information. Couple things about email. On all email correspondence, always include your first and last name in your message and the class in which you're enrolled. Students often say, I'm so-and-so from your online class, but I teach multiple online classes every quarter. Which online class? Or they provide only their first name and have a question that requires me to look up their work on Blackboard. So I have to reply back and ask for the last name, then the student has to reply back with their last name. Or I have to try and guess their name based on their email address. Number 2, always forward the original email if there was any previous correspondence on the issue, so I have a reference. Even if you just barely emailed me about something, please forward the previous message. I may have responded to a ton of emails from the time you last emailed me. Having to ask for any or all of these 3 pieces of information creates more email traffic. If you include this information on all email correspondence, it really helps me to be able to respond to everyone's emails in a timely manner. Number 3, please try to keep your messages short and concise or to the point. Whenever I receive long messages, it's much more time consuming for me to read through the message and try to find what exactly the student is asking. So there's a much greater chance that I might misread your message or read it too fast, and my response does not answer your question or meet whatever need you had. I completely understand that it's frustrating when you email someone with a question and they respond but not with the answer to your question. If your message is short and to the point, there is a much less chance of this happening. But if it does happen, may I request that you use this type of message instead of this type of message. I promise I'll try my best to read your messages very carefully and respond appropriately to your question if you promise to try to keep your messages short and to the point. Number 4, this is a fully online class, so we'll never communicate face-to-face. 100% of our communication is via email. I found that sometimes email communication from students can be a bit abrasive compared to face-to-face communication. This is an actual message from a former student who had a question about his score. Very respectful and pleasant. This is an excerpt from an actual message from another former student who had the very same question about her score on the very same assignment. Her message is actually way too long to include here. There's a form for faculty to report not only academic dishonesty, but also student misconduct. So just a friendly request to use the same level of respect and professionalism in your email messages that you would expect a professor to show you. In other words, remember that although we won't communicate face-to-face, there is still a face behind your instructor's email address. Number 5, a note about communication from me. Check announcements on Blackboard for messages at the beginning of every week. These messages also get sent to your email. Course description: contemporary health and wellness issues individuals face daily. Study of mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and social well-being. Emphasis on the application of knowledge and skills to reduce risk and enhance quality of life. Course prerequisites: there are none. System requirements: click on the link or copy and paste the link into your browser to see the system requirements you'll need in order to take the final exam. And you'll need access to a computer with a webcam. You're going to take the final exam from home or wherever you'd like, but you'll be proctored through a webcam. Most laptops have a webcam built in. If you don't have a webcam, they're pretty inexpensive if you need to buy one. Required material: just like most classes, there are course materials that you'll need to purchase for this class. Lectures and links to the supplemental videos are housed within StressX. Because I use copyrighted material, I'm forced to use an online publisher who pays ask for permission to use the copyrighted material, which is why I can't post the course materials for free on Blackboard or YouTube. More and more universities are getting sued because professors are using copyrighted material without paying for copyright permission. You'll need to purchase access to the course materials from StressX, or you can purchase a code through the bookstore if financial aid only allows you to purchase through the bookstore. But just a warning, the bookstore marks up the cost, so it's more expensive if you buy through them. The cost for the code to access the materials is $15, and the cost to be proctored for the final exam is $7.50. So the total cost is $22.50 for the course materials if you purchase directly from StressX. Unfortunately, you can't share access because StressX will provide everyone with the code when it comes time to take the final exam. So you'll need your own code to take the exam, and StressX is not allowed to sell codes only for the exam. Course objectives are listed there. Each objective is measured and assessed by a specific course requirement. The corresponding assignments are listed there in parentheses at the end of each objective. In other words, each assignment has been carefully created to specifically meet the course objectives. Upon successful completion of this course, students will be able to, number one, clarify ideas and opinions pertaining to personal health issues, and that will be accomplished and assessed by way of the critical thinking assignments. We'll talk about the assignments in just a minute. Number two, change and improve health behaviors, thereby improving health status, and that will be accomplished and assessed by the book review and behavior change project. And number three, identify a variety of issues and concepts pertaining to personal health, and that will be accomplished and assessed by the self-assessments. Course requirements. Okay, so here's the part that I'm sure you're most interested in. What do you have to do for this class? The first thing you need to do each week is not listed there because it's a given and there's nothing you'll submit for this assignment, and that is, quote unquote, go to class. Going to class means you'll listen to audiovisual recordings of the lectures and some supplemental video clips on YouTube. Number one, health journal. After listening to the assigned lectures for the week, you'll complete a health journal that consists of 4 components. Number one, a critical thinking assignment. You'll provide your thoughts and ideas pertaining to concepts discussed in the lectures. Number two, book review. You'll read from one book for the quarter and provide your comments as to what you learned each week. Number three, self-assessments. You'll provide some assessments to give you an objective measurement of your health. Number four, a behavior change project. You'll work on improving your health behaviors by completing a behavior change task each week. Just a quick note about the assignments. If you've taken my KN 370 stress management class or my KN 441 school health education class, there is some overlap with the material. A little redundancy will not kill you. In fact, it's been said that repetition is the mother of all learning, but I just wanted to warn you that it's inevitable to have some overlap because of the similar nature of these 3 classes. Number two, discussion board postings. You'll simply copy and paste your assignments from the health journal to the discussion board each week for your classmates to view, but you'll submit all of your work on the template for grading at the end of the quarter. You may omit any self-assessments that you don't feel comfortable with your classmates seeing, but you'll obviously need to include those assessments on the health journal template that you'll submit for grading at the end of the quarter. Number three, a final exam. You'll take a final exam to assess your cognitive understanding of the concepts. The final exam consists of 50 multiple choice questions, and you'll have 1 hour to complete the exam. Detailed information about how to take the exam is included in the videos folder in course documents. So there you have it. Those are the course requirements. You're going to do the same 6 things each and every week of the quarter. First, you'll listen to the lectures and supplemental videos. Then you'll respond to 1 critical thinking question. Then you'll read from a book of your choosing and write about something you learned or something the author said that stood out to you. Then you'll complete a self-assessment. Then you'll complete the behavior change project. You'll record everything on the template as we go throughout the quarter, and then copy and paste everything to the discussion board each week. Due dates. Everyone put a star next to the due dates, or circle this section, or highlight it, or put exclamation marks next to it. By far the predominant reason for stress and frustration for both myself and students is because students don't pay attention to these due dates. Each posting refers to your weekly assignments, the critical thinking assignment, the book review, the self-assessment, and the behavior change project. Do not rely on reminder messages from me. Write down these due dates in your day planner or on your calendar right now. It is your responsibility to adhere to these deadlines. Also, please notice the message at the bottom that says everything is due by 11 p.m., not midnight. At the end of every quarter, I always get at least 1 or 2 messages like this one. I show you this in hopes that it will help prevent you from making the same mistake. Can you work ahead? Absolutely. All of the links on the discussion board are available right now. Feel free to complete your work and assignments ahead of time and take the final exam as early as you'd like. Syllabus promise. Notice that there is a syllabus promise due at the end of week 1. This was not listed in the course requirements because it's not worth any points and it's not really considered an assignment, but everyone must make a syllabus promise in order to remain in the class. The syllabus promise consists of a list of 15 or so statements to which I'd like you to indicate your agreement or promise. Each of these statements comes directly from this orientation recording in the syllabus. The syllabus promise is found in the Submission tab. Anything you submit is in the Submission tab. So click on Submissions, then Syllabus Promise, then Begin. Then click the first radial button next to I promise or I understand for each of the items. When you're finished, please print the syllabus promise so you have a hard copy of it. You must complete the syllabus promise by the end of the first week or risk being dropped from the course. Late policy. There is no grace period for anything. Absolutely no assignments will be accepted after the due date for any reason, period. That's why I strongly recommend that you complete your assignments at least 48 hours prior to the deadline, so that if you have any problems at all, your computer crashes, your car got broken into and your laptop was stolen, your dog died, you ended up having to go into work, your internet connection is down, etc., 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 you'll still have 2 days to complete the assignment. So many students never adhere to this recommendation every quarter, and unfortunately every quarter there are a large handful of students who were not able to post their assignments on the discussion board or even submit their stress journal because of a problem that could have been easily rectified if they had given themselves a 2-day cushion. That's why I included recommended due dates and actual due dates. One last thing about the late policy. I love my job. I love teaching. I love helping students get healthier. I love everything about my job with the exception of one thing. Students who ask that an exception be made for them, and worse, students who expect an exception be made for them and then get upset when an exception is not made for them. Please understand that it's unethical or unfair for me to accept your work late when your classmates submitted on time, some of whom made major efforts to submit on time. And it's unfair not only to your classmates, but it's also unfair to literally thousands, not hundreds, but thousands of students who have taken this class with me over the many years since I've been teaching this class. The deadline is just that, a deadline. So I'd really, really appreciate it if you would refrain from asking that an exception be made for you. Grading system. The grading system is listed there. Notice that each posting is only worth 10 points, so it's not the end of the world if you don't get your assignments completed and posted one week, but those points can add up quickly and can make or break your grade at the end of the quarter, so try not to miss any postings. But remember that each posting is only worth 10 points. Grading scale. The grading scale is listed there and will be strictly followed. Instructions. The next section of the syllabus is the instructions. Instructions for how to do everything are listed there. Grading criteria. The next section of the syllabus is grading criteria. There should be no surprises as to how you're graded, and you should have a very clear understanding of what's expected. In fact, if you lose any points, I'll provide a number in the instructor feedback area. These numbers correspond to the criteria that you didn't meet. So the criteria or what you're supposed to include is under the left column under criteria, and the penalty for not meeting the criteria is on the right. Also, examples of exactly what's expected have been provided on each of the documents where additional instructions are included in course documents. Notice the message at the end of the grading criteria section. Any academic dishonesty will result in a 0 for that entire assignment. Academic dishonesty includes but is not limited to plagiarizing even one sentence on any of the assignments, posting an incomplete assignment on the discussion board, navigating outside the exam when you're taking the exam, etc. So for example, if you used a response from a former student on the health journal, you'll receive a 0 on the entire health journal, 150 points. If you took KIN 370 or 441 in the past and you use your same responses for KIN 207, you'll get caught, and that's also considered academic dishonesty. Turnitin is a program that is used here at Cal Poly Pomona. It catches any plagiarism. It compares your work with anything and everything that's ever been posted on the internet and anything and everything that's ever been submitted, not just to Cal Poly Pomona, but a gazillion other universities. Also, if you posted an incomplete posting on the discussion board, you'll receive a 0 for the entire discussion board postings, which is 50 points. Remember, you're to post only complete postings. You'll also be reported to Judicial Affairs, which may result in suspension from the university. Faculty are ordered to report academic dishonesty. It's not an option. We have to report it. The last 2 pages of the syllabus contain an overview of the lecture and assignment schedule. So each week you'll watch the lectures. Notice that each lecture is fairly short. Then you'll watch the corresponding supplemental video on YouTube. Obviously the YouTube videos are not copyrighted, but I've placed those with the lectures on StressX to keep all the videos together. I did not include the length of time for each supplemental video because you only have to watch them long enough to get the answers on the study guide. So for several of the supplemental videos, you don't have to watch the entire video. And of course, you'll complete the critical thinking assignment and book review each week as well. I didn't include those 2 assignments here because they're the same every week. So this is an awesome class, but if you have a problem with strict deadlines, exceptions not being made for you, and if you plan on using former students' work or plagiarizing in any way, this class is not for you. It would probably be better to drop the class. One final note, I can't emphasize enough that what you get out of this class is what you put into it. If you feel that the assignments are quote-unquote busy work, that's a reflection of you, not the assignments. In other words, it's an indication that you are not taking the assignments seriously and putting the time and effort into the assignments. As I previously discussed, each assignment has been carefully created to meet a specific objective. And that concludes the orientation recording. What do you do now? Number 1, complete the syllabus promise. Number 2, listen to the video tutorial for more detailed information about how to do the assignments. Number 3, find a book for the book review. And number 4, purchase access to StressX. Refer to the StressX instructions in course documents. Then follow the list on each week on the syllabus. That's it for now. I'll be in touch. Good luck.